and not to play baseball either. Now Bill Schmalfelt wants to beat everybody up. Stop it.
Yeah, stop it. Know what you're talking about. I'm not a journalist. Well, okay, I'm technically, I suppose, I'm retired, but I still write. I don't get paid to write, but I write. I have experience as a journalist. You don't get paid either, Stranahan, except for whatever story you submit to Breitbart.com, and that could hardly be called news. And I've achieved some goals in my life. I wanted to publish a book before I died. I've self-published several, and had one that was actually published by a small printing house in 2004. So that goal was met. Another goal I had was to have a nationwide, coast-to-coast radio show, nationwide, live, coast-to-coast, and I finally achieved that goal in 2001. I'll tell you about that in just a bit.
Oh, goodness gracious. It appears as if disgraced attorney, Aaron Walker, is panhandling for handouts on our lawn again. While we shoo him away, listen to these messages. Say, boys and girls, are you tired of all the other kids picking on you, because you dress like a street urchin? And how about you, young professional, who gets to wear casual clothing at work? Do your co-workers dump their coffee on you, or intentionally pee on your leg, in the bathroom, or elsewhere, because your clothes are not cool, hip, and with it? Are you starting to seriously consider bringing a loaded firearm to work or to school, to put a permanent end to all this being picked on? Well, nieces and nephews, your old Uncle Bastard has the solution to your problems. And nobody has to die. At least, not yet. Just change into dry pants, without all that pee on your leg, and log on to www.cafepress.com/olduncle-bastard. That's one word, Old Uncle Bastard, and there, you will find a wide assortment of bastard gear, guaranteed to make you the coolest kid in the 8th grade, or the sharpest fellow or girl in the corporate mailroom. And what fun you'll have! T-shirts, hats, sweats, mugs, stickers, and hoodies in case you need to conceal your identity. And say, won't you be the most popular fellow or girl in the junior class when you show up at the high school basketball game, under the bleachers, with your very own Old Uncle Bastard whiskey flask? I'll say you will. So, what are you waiting for? To get the shit kicked out of you again by kids who dress better than you? To have your leg urinated on again by your co-workers? Because of your poncy, puffy, Hello Kitty t-shirt? Stop the senseless bloodshed. Stop the senseless improper urination. Log on, immediately, to www.cafepress.com/olduncle-bastard. That's one word. Old Uncle Bastard. And discover the world of popularity that can only come from the sartorial splendor of wearing this fabulous, wonderful, bastard gear. Bring your credit card. And if you don't have one, steal one from mother or dad. They might be mad at first, but tell them it's better than your alternative plan, which would be a story of national tragedy that would be discussed on the cable news networks 24/7, and their names would be mentioned over and over again, and that would be just about it, as far as their membership in the country club is concerned. This way, nobody gets hurt. www.cafepress.com/olduncle-bastard. You look and feel splendid. Nobody gets hurt. And your parents get to stay in the country club. And isn't that better for everyone? I'll say, it is. And you can trust me. I'm a computer-generated voice. Would a computer-generated voice lie to you? Goodness. No. Heavens, no. Perhaps we need new glasses. That wasn't disgraced, unemployed idiot, Aaron Walker, on the lawn. Just some disheveled homeless man. Again, easy mistake to make. Let's get back to the old Uncle Bastard show, while I go wash my hands and spray some air freshener.
Like I said, by the way, I'm Bill Schmalfelt. This is the old Uncle Bastard show. They call me the Liberal Grouch on Twitter, and you can tweet me at Liberal Grouch. Within a half hour of this show being done, if you didn't catch the whole live show, we'll have it up on oldunclebastard.com. I've achieved my three major goals in my life. One of those goals is to marry the love of my life. Gail and I have been together since 1989. I won't say without a hitch, because we did have some troubles back around 2003. But we've been strong and steady for, God, it'll be 24 years coming up in March since we've met. So that's one goal. Another goal was to get a book published. I've had several self-published, but I got one published by a small publishing house. It's called By the People, and it's available at bookjerk.com, so you can check that out for yourself. And another was to have a nationwide, live, coast-to-coast radio show. I made that goal in 2001 when I was hired at XM Satellite Radio. They moved me from Florida to Washington, D.C. I didn't have to pay a nickel for this. They moved us. They put us up in a residential complex for several months until we could find our own place. These people, and they paid me what at the time seemed like the ungodly salary of $60,000 a year. I had never, up to that point, made that much money in my entire life. So as the 21st century began, while knowing I had Parkinson's disease, it was still largely just a concept to me. I was in hog heaven. I had a show, and it was nationwide.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the magical Mr. Miss Nobody.
Got a comment you'd like to share? Our email address is onbroadway@xmradio.com. It's America's original nationwide channel of show tunes. On Broadway, XM 28. It's not the same old song and dance. That phone ringing off the hook today. Our toll-free demand performance hotline, 866-258-SHOW. Let's see who this is. Hey there, you're on Broadway. How you doing today?
Doing fine. How about you?
I think I'll be okay. Where are you calling from?
Well, right now I just got off of the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, and it's for New York.
That's a big, scary bridge, ain't it?
It's a good bridge.
So what you doing up in New York?
Going home.
All righty. Well, what can we play for you to smooth the way?
Oh, anything from Camelot would be nice.
All right. We'll get some Camelot on for you.
Okay.
All right, take care.
Thanks. Bye.
I have my own personal reasons to remember the Chesapeake Bay Bridge when I was driving tanker truck for a living. I was coming across there on US 50. I was just about to the top of that big, scary bridge when my engine shutdown light came on. I had blown a hose of antifreeze. It was spraying everywhere. And if you've ever been on that bridge, you know it's no place for a truck to be broke down. Luckily, I was able to get to the top and then coast down to the other side. Why are you looking at me like that? I'm not making this story up.
It's true. It's true.
Noticed how I worked that right into the beginning of a song from Camelot? That was back in 2001 or 2. I'm not sure which. In 2003, XM moved me to New York City to work out of their studios there. And that's where Gail and I ran into some trouble because she was frankly miserable living in New York City. So we had to leave XM Satellite Radio. But my time at XM, I think the thing that I had the most fun with, when I look back at my long career as a journalist and a radio personality and broadcaster, the one show I remember is one we did every Sunday night on XM satellite radio for the first couple years. It was me and my production guy, Ben Kretsch. Ben is an audio genius, and he's also, if I may say, an American hero, because he was one of the people who was fired from XM when Sirius bought them out. Instead of just laying around and waiting for something else to pop up, Ben joined the military. And he was in his late 20s, and he joined the Army. I don't know if he's still in or not, but he went to Afghanistan and served, I'm sure, with distinction. He and I did this radio show that we called the Sunday Stage Bill. And it is the most odd, bizarre, fire sign theater-like production I've ever been in. We would go into the studio, Ben and I, without a script, with just a basic idea of what our topic for the week would be. I portrayed a character named Walter J. Puddingbottom. Ben portrayed a character named Eldon McCarricker. And on this episode, you're going to hear snippets of the villain is actually my late twin brother, Bob. This was recorded in 2003. We called Bob at his home in Mayville, Wisconsin, and asked him to just ad-lib along with us and be the villain, Otis Q. Puddingbottom. So you have a rivalry between Walter J. Puddingbottom, his brother Otis Q. Puddingbottom, and poor Eldon McCarricker stuck in the middle. And Bill Schmalfelt, that's me, walks out to explain the premise. Remember, radio, theater of the mind.
Good evening, and welcome to the Eckington Theater, the empty Eckington Theater. We clear the place out every Sunday night in honor of the former impresario, the late Walter J. Puddingbottom, who for years believed he was doing a Sunday night live nationwide broadcast from this very stage. I am your jovial impresario, Broadway Bill Schmalfelt, and tonight we hear of the creation of a Phantom of the Eckington. You might remember about a month and a half ago, we aired a broadcast where Puddingbottom met over the telephone his long-lost twin brother Otis. At the conclusion of that program, we heard Otis make it his personal business to destroy the Eckington Theater. And on tonight's broadcast, he begins to live up to that threat. Listen and be very disturbed at tonight's Sunday Stage Bill. On Broadway, XM 28.
Live on the NBC Orange Network from the Eckington Theater in Washington, D.C., this is the Sunday Stage Bill. I'm your stage announcer, Eldon McCarricker, asking you to join me in welcoming this evening's master of ceremonies. He's your jovial impresario, Walter J. Puddingbottom.
Good evening and welcome to the Sunday Stage Bill. I am your jovial impresario, Walter J. Puddingbottom, accompanied as always by my faithful friend, Eldon McCarricker.
Yes.
Our stage announcer. Eldon.
Hello.
Another very small crowd here at the Eckington tonight.
It's cozy.
I wonder if the word's getting out about our national broadcast on the NBC Orange Network.
Well, there's supposed to be printed pictures of us nationwide.
I haven't seen...
On
wait a minute, you fool!
What?
What is that on the stage?
What?
Look!
What?
Look down stage center!
I don't see it.
It's a heel mark on the stage. Don't I pay you ridiculously low wages to polish the stage floor before every show? Take this!